Lavender Akoth Ojala is from HomaBay County, Super South constituency, a place called Gwasi, a small village called Godbura. That is where I come from. I'm a daughter of a retired teacher called Mr. Nashon Ojala Sure. My mother is also a business person. She's from Kochia. Kochia is in Rangwe constituency. I'm a firstborn in a family of 7. So my dad retired when most of my siblings were still very young. So ideally, I'm a deputy parent. A firstborn is a deputy parent. So basically, that's me. I'm a business person. I'm in construction. I do consultancy work here and there. My educational background is political science, University of Nairobi. Then I did international relations and diplomacy at the United States International University, and project management diploma, Kenya Methodist University. So that is my educational background. Yes. And people call me Balozi. The name Balozi was actually, people got it from a very close friend of mine. He used to refer to me as Balozi, Balozi, then people picked it from there. Balozi is the Kiswahili name of an ambassador. But I have not been appointed an ambassador anywhere. I have not. But I understand global politics. I understand matters diplomacy. Like right now, I think tomorrow I have an interview. I'm supposed to be discussing DRC's entry, admission into East African Cooperation. So I'm supposed to be having an interview to discuss that. So because I understand matters diplomacy, international relations, global politics, like right now, there's a war, Ukraine and Russia. Those are things I understand really well. So my friends actually started calling me Balozi, and actually a friend of mine, I will not mention, but he knows himself. So people picked the name from him, and it has become so popular. Everyone, even at home, Balozi, Balozi. Recently, I was somewhere in Luanda. Luanda is in Kasigunga. That is Suba North constituency. So I went to some market there to buy mboga. I was on my way to HomaBay. So just went to the market to catch up with the women a little bit. So from the crowd, I had 2 women calling me Balozi, Balozi. I'm like, well, you would know I'm called Balozi. So I just want to say that I've not been appointed. It's my pet name for now, but nothing can stop me from being an ambassador in the future because I can represent Kenya very well in any capacity. First of all, it is woman representative. It's a common mistake that people make. When you call it women representative, it means I'm going to the National Assembly to represent only women. But this is an affirmative action seat that was created to fill the gender gap that was existing before. So this is the female who is going to represent HomaBay County at the National Assembly. So the role of a woman rep is just like other members of Parliament, National Assembly: legislation, oversight, and representation. So there are various reasons that led me to vie for the position of woman rep HomaBay County. I looked at all factors that I had to look at, and I really settled for this position. I really want to give a brief history of my political journey, because my intention to run for HomaBay County Women Rep did not just start the other day. When people see you trying to give back to society, they tend to believe that there's something you're looking for. So a few years back, there are programs that I had initiated, more so school-based. I was sitting in boards of various schools. I could organize arambes. I could do mentorship programs for girls. So that is where people started noticing, like Lavender Akoth Ojala, there's something that I really want to give you politically. In 2017, I didn't really feel like I was prepared to run for a political office. So I said, well, let me just do it for now, voluntarily, because I knew at some point I will join elective politics, but I didn't know when. So I have agenda which is covering health, education, and agriculture. And as we all know, that it does not have a lot of financial allocations. So it will depend with the holder of the office. Are you able to network? Are you able to make partnerships? For example, in the health sector, we can work in partnerships with other organizations. We build something akin to Nairobi Women's Hospital, something simpler. because I do not also want to be overambitious, but at least it's good to have a vision. If you have something like that in HomaBay, so all women, maybe I think in Nyanza region or from Fars Bomet will be coming to HomaBay to get treated. So in that same building, we can have wings. One wing will deal with the gender-based violence. One wing we can put to deal with the HIV cases, because we know in HomaBay the rate of HIV prevalence is high compared to other places, and we all know the reasons why this has been so. So we can have wings within this women's hostel that will cater for all that. So that is one thing that I think can really work with the health sector. And again, I'm also hoping to work with the incoming governor, because you know health is executive. That is a function of the executive. But as I said earlier, that the person elected to this office, if she is someone who is able to network and make partnership with other organizations, then we can have enough to make this office help our people. My one policy is always not to spread thin. You want to go to each and every constituency doing something small, maybe distributing a few things here and there. What if just consolidate this money, we put it somewhere? Like, you know, the current Homa Bay Referral Hospital was built by one Tom Boyer. Tom Boyer died 50 years back, but at least he did something that the entire country is now still seeing. So my manifesto on health is basically on that. And then you have things like agriculture. Agriculture here, we have small scale traders, our women trying to make it out in agriculture. When you go to places like Kabondo, Kabondo is rich in sweet potatoes. A place like Ochia, that is where we have the sweetest pineapples in East and Central Africa. The place where I come from, you will find our mamas doing omenas, butters, like that. So there's a way we can empower our women. There's a way we can help them get something better. Like now their produce, at times they do all these things, but the market is not there. Even the roads leading to the markets are in terrible conditions. So these are the things that we really want to try and find a way of putting the roads into better conditions. And again, there are women, both men and women, who are dealing in perishable commodities. Like pineapple is perishable. It's something you cannot keep for long. What if we find a way of giving them storage facilities so that they can keep the pineapples for long, so that they don't sell them at a throwaway prices because they cannot stay for long? Fishing is also part of agriculture, and our fishermen, most of people living around Lake Victoria, they depend, their livelihood is only on the lake. So there's a way we can ensure that our fishermen are protected. We've always had issues to do with Migingo Island. Our fishermen get frustrated in the lake by Ugandan authorities. So as a leader, I think one of the things will be to ensure that our fishermen are protected. I think if you've been keenly following me, I've been on radio, I've been on TV, and some of the things that we discuss are issues affecting our fishermen on the lake. So if they are protected, if they can be allowed to fish without unnecessary interferences, then we believe the productivity will go higher. So there's a lot more that is covered in agriculture. Again, if you say so much, people will start saying, but the things you're talking about are meant for the governor. That is why I said this office is basically for networking. You can only do much if you're able to network and work with other bodies to bring changes. I have actually mentioned, when I talked about something akin to Nairobi Women's Hospital, no, that is women. That is women on health. And the most things that affect our women are health related. So if they are healthy, that means they'll be productive. That is number one. I also mentioned the small scale business people. Women are included here, sorry. So again, I usually tell them when I'm on my campaign trail that I'll not be giving them loans. What I can do is to get grants. So when I give you this money, you don't return it to me. You only go and maybe expand your business, whatever you get. So those are some of the things that we have for women. We really have a good package for them. But again, as I say, you can be saying so much before you get elected, but now when you get in there, you find that you've not done much. So let us just do them in bits. hoping that when you get in the office, which of course I'm so sure of getting in there, it's just a matter of when. And I always say that political goodwill is very important. You can be having your connections, yes, but now we lack the political goodwill. This is Kenya. They look at Lavender maybe as a private person. I will not be getting the partners like I'm talking about, I will be talking to come and help us build HomaBay. But now when you have the political goodwill, now you have the authority, you have the mandate. Use that title to go get things you bring to people. That is why I mentioned that I have three pillars in the Luo. One is called Gemo. Gemo is a networking bit. You go get goods, bring to Homabay County. Gero now is the development bit of it. And then Gelo. Of course, a leader is someone who must give hope to his people. You don't just go to your people complaining you are helpless, then how do you expect them to have hope? So those are my 3Gs. My campaign was actually wrapped under my 3G pillars. Yes. I knew mine were going to be quite many. It was my first time now vying as a politician. You're on your own. You want to go down there and campaign because literally, I started this thing from zero. Zero because I have been a business person, meaning I've been private. I have not really been appointed to any position because some of these positions people can use them to their advantage. Like you are appointed in these ministries, these influential positions, so you use them to build your networks and do a few things here and there. So I knew that was one place that I have not benefited from. So I'm starting it from zero. I have not been elected anywhere. I have never vied. I was doing it for the first time. So basically, I started it from zero. So the only network that we talk about were maybe the ones that I made when I was campaigning for other people. I have campaigned for people before. In 2013, I was a young, naive girl, but now with a grasp of politics. So I was one of the lead campaigners of the late Minister for Immigration, the late Otieno Kajwang. So that is how I got into Homa Bay politics. I learned a few things here and there, but again, after that, I was never employed by the county government. I opted to go self-employment, and that is where I've been. I mentioned I do the construction and consultancy work here and there. So the first challenge was how to start it on my own because I did not want to hang on anyone's coat. I wanted to be Lavender Ojala. But the moment you want to do things on your own, remember it's expensive. You have to use resources. You have to look for reliable contacts on your own. So it is something I got into knowing the challenges I was going to have, but I really put my strategies well. And by God's grace, I got very reliable contacts. People are very principled because I'm also very principled. When I engage people, I'm able to know, like this one, we can rely on. So I'm happy to say that when I started in 2020, now my direct engagement with the people, most of the contracts I started with, they're still intact. I still have them. They're still helping me because I also told them who I am. I'm also one person who will never say something that I'm not able to do. When you call me like, Lavender, I was thinking we do this and this and this. If I'm not able to do it, I'll tell you. So some people tell me, no, in politics, you just manage people. I'm not so good in managing people. So whenever I cannot do something, I'll say it as it is. So those are the things that I really said I want to do from day one. So I have managed to do my campaigns as Lavender from day one up to date. I never go to people's functions like you want to take advantage of an existing already ready-made crowd. That is, but once you want to be your own person, it also comes with these challenges. So those are some of the things I faced. But so far, because I'm one person who is also very strategic, I know what is expected of me as a politician. So before I go to a place, I do a thorough research. I do a thorough mapping of the political environment. So by the time I'm going there, I know what to do. I know what to say. I know the people to work with. So that has really helped me. But one thing I thank God for is that I got very good contact right from Kabondo to Suba, where I come from. You go to Ndewa, I have three competitors from Ndewa constituency, but that is a constituency where I also have very good contacts. I have very good contacts from Ndewa. So all these constituencies, I think I have managed to gather something. But again, HomaBay County has 8 sub-counties with 40 wards. I said, let me not try to be popular in every ward. It's not going to work out. Map out wards that you think you can consolidate support. Focus on them. At the end of the day, you will get votes in your strongholds. Even in constituencies, no one can have support in an entire constituency. You must be keen in areas that at least your votes are guaranteed. Yeah, so the challenges were many, but I think I faced them head on. One thing that I said I not do again is always trying to fit everywhere. Run your race. Don't struggle to be anyone else. Like when I come into politics, I want to dance like this female politician I've seen dancing. I want to do this because I've seen this female politician doing this. No, I believe in cutting a niche for yourself and you stick to that. People know me to be diplomatic. I have explained that before. Now, if I get some and then I start doing this funny stuff, then that will not be lavender. Do what people know you for and stick to it. Don't try to be someone else. The moment you try to be someone else, you lose it completely, and people will see you struggling. So define yourself, be Lavender Akoth Ojala, be unique, and will prosper. So that is. I have been a member of Orange Democratic Movement for the longest time. Actually, I did not even go to Chungwa House to register for life membership because I was fine. I had mine way back in 2016. I was already a life member of Orange Democratic Movement because I subscribe to its ideologies and the manifesto of the party. So we are nearing nominations, party primaries. I believe the party is getting ready, is getting prepared to handle this. There has been rumors of candidates getting direct nominations. Well, I'm not the right person to talk about it. Maybe the party can issue a statement, which they have done before. But as Lavender Akoth Ojala vying for woman rep HomaBay, we have not gotten a communication changing anything. What we know is that our party primaries are scheduled for 14th this month. That is just about 10 days away. Yes. I have been on the ground for the past 2 years. I sit down with people, I let them tell me what they expect me to do as their leader. That is why I adopted something called participatory approach to leadership. You let people tell you their priorities. You don't go there with a list of things that you want to do for them. For example, if I go to meet fishermen somewhere, and then I tell them, I'm going to buy for you seeds, fertilizer. Those are not the things that they need. So when you let them talk to you, like there's a time I was meeting beach leaders, a beach called Omukwa. So they told me in this beach, we need a solar powered system because the place at times it gets dark, things like that. So you get to know their needs. It is not true that when I come from Suba, I cannot know problems affecting people in Oyugis. That is why I've tried to traverse the entire county. I know every corner of HomaBay County. If you ask me to name the 40 wards in HomaBay County, I will name them. Nowadays, anytime I'm in the county, I will tell you, now we are in Chabera, this is Kabondo East. We go and then we pass Kabondo East, we go to Kadongo, that is Kabondo West. We pass Kadongo, we go to Ringa, that is Ringa Kojuachi. From there we go to Mikai, no, that is Kakelo Kokwanyo. From there now we go to East Kamagak, past Mikai. From East Kamagak, it is West Kamagak or Yugi. So Yugi is South Kasipul, West Kasipul, I go to Nyangel, like that. So I'll be able to tell you each and every place. And I have known them because I've tried to traverse, I have tried to talk to the people, and they have told me the problems affecting them as a people because we've had a conversation. so I'm able to know. So I understand each and every word of HomaBay County because I knew what I wanted from the beginning. I took my time to go down there and talk to the people. So don't worry about that. And again, when I came into this race, I did not present myself as a candidate for SUBA. I told them I'm a daughter of HomaBay County and these are my manifestos. This is what I intend to do once elected to office. So when I'm in Kiwa Island, that is Suba South constituency, Gwasi North ward. When I'm in Remba now, that is Suba North constituency. When I'm in Fangano, that is Suba North constituency. When I'm in Gembe, that is Suba North. When I'm in Kamreri, I am in Kasbunga. I know all these places. I understand the challenges, the economic activities in each and every ward. So don't worry about that. I know the county is big. It needed courage, and that is why we are here to date. We have managed. We started small, but we've been moving because we knew what we are getting into. We planned for it. We strategized for it, and we've managed to come this far. Yes, that is now when I was giving a brief history of my political journey. I mentioned that it did not just start recently because I was vying for a political position. No, people used to see me attending Arambe as I'm a chief guest. Not that I had much, but the little that I had, I felt it's important to also give back to society. Why not take this 20,000 you have? When a girls' school is having some Arambe, you go there and take it to them. Maybe it is just that 20,000 which was going to make a difference. If you go to the place I come from, I said I come from a small village called Godbura in Gwasi South, Suba. I've been in boards of secondary schools. When you're a member of a board of a school, there are a lot of things that you have to do. When they're having a rambes, you are involved. When they're doing this, you are involved. Mentorship for the students, you are involved. So these are things that I have managed to do as a private citizen. And before you get elected, you cannot do much. I have never been appointed to any position. I've been a business person all my life. I started work, but again, I said, the pressure is too much. I'm overwhelmed with a lot of things. As I said, I'm a firstborn in a family of 7. You have your sibling to take to school because my dad is a retired teacher. He retired way back before most of my siblings were done with schools. And then now here is the society. You are in the board, you want to do this, you want to do this. So I said, let me try business. Because when you're in business, you also employ other people. It's not just you. I'm a road contractor. Whenever I have a project going on, I will get a foreman, I will get a supervisor, I will get a number of watu wa mkono that I will employ in that project. So at the end of the day, it is not just me getting something, but at least a few people having something to take back to their houses. So I started like that before I even said I'm vying for a position. If you go to a place like Mfangano is not in my constituency, but you go to a school like Akimba, I went there before I declared intention to vie. I went and mentored girls and boys. By the way, I don't just focus on girls because I usually say if we empower the girl child and we forget to mentor the boy child how to deal with an empowered girl child, then there's going to be a problem. And this is where there has been issues. So I always try to balance. I talk to boys and I talk to girls. So you go to a place like Akimba, Wakula, I have participated in Harambes there. You come to Rusinga, that is still Suba. There's a place called, a school called Kamaseki. Way back in 2015, when they were doing the Harambe, I went there and participated. And they were asking me when I rose to give my money, like, Lavender Akoth, are you also vying? They couldn't believe that I've come all the way from Gwasi to Rusinga to participate in Harambe, yet there's nothing I'm looking for politically. So leave alone that. Now when you come to Gwasi, because the places I've mentioned are not in my constituency, that is Suba North. So when you come to Suba South, there are schools like Obanga, Godbura, Magunga. I've been in those boards. I have participated. Recently, I was in some function in a ward called Kanyikela. Kanyikela is in Dewa. I talked there with courage because I knew I was there in 2015, again for another fundraiser. I was invited. I said, why not? Let me just go and give back to society. So, that one gives me easy time. Like now, I can say, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. I could not go all over the county because I did not have much to traverse the entire place. But I know you can have that small thing you've done somewhere that you can point out and say, now this is it. I managed to do this before I got elected. Before I even said I had intention to vie. I knew I was a politician. I knew one day I'll vie, but I was not sure when and where. So this just came like, no, I have built enough network in the county, and this is a position that I understand really well. Let me go for it. Another thing that I want to say about affirmative action. So many people do not understand it, why affirmative action 6 were created. It was created because we felt the playing field, the political playing field, was not balanced for women. So that is why they came up with these positions, so that young women like us can make entry into active politics. I'm not saying what we are doing now is not active, but again, now we are all women. We are all women vying for this position. People always tend to believe that women are disadvantaged compared to men. That is not the attitude I have. I just became realistic to the person that I am and said, now this is the position that I think I can do best in. There's the patriarchy in our society. There's a lot of questions that people will ask you. Like now, when I got into this, I knew I had a number of things that people would ask me. But because I became brave enough and said what I am, I did not hide. I'm looking for this thing from my father's home, meaning I'm not married anywhere. I'm looking for it from my father's home. And I said, I'm not going to lie to anybody. Yeah? No, others were like, now when you go to a place like Ndewa, you can play around with your mind and tell them, I got you where. So I said, no. The moment I start doing that, then that is not leadership. So I went directly to the people and told them who I am. When you tell them directly, then you tell them that is why the positions of affirmative action was created. Otherwise, I would have competed with the men because I'm able to do that. Another thing that I usually tell women politicians, don't create the us versus them kind of mentality. That us women. No. I am Lavender Akoth Ojala. What do I stand for? What do I want to do differently when given a chance to lead? So I think the packaging of my information and my agenda actually led us to where we are today. As we speak, we have not done much as I would have wanted to do in my campaigns, but the percentage is encouraging. There's growth, there's progress. To the people of HomaBay, here is Lavender Akoth Ojala. I present my candidacy for the woman rep position to you people. I am able, I am capable. Basically, it's just 3 roles of a member of parliament: legislation, oversight, representation. I am up to the task. I ask all of you to give me your votes.